This message, it's about how do you begin to make this a new year for yourself? And you know that that can't happen unless there is a new you. And so over the next few days, I talked about a 7-day mental diet. The 7 days that you don't say anything negative, 7 days you don't think anything negative, 7 days that you look at your negative behavior and you catch yourself, you're mindful, you're vigilant, and you have to say, cancel that thought, cancel those words that I just spoke. That this is a time where you have to be vigilant to build a new you. And so we talk about, this is it, just 7 days now. This is the next day. So it's something else to do that. A 7-day mental diet. A 7-day mental diet is not easy. It is not easy. And you see, because you'll find yourself, see, we can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on. And so I want to talk to you about how to begin to create the major shift in your life and who you have to be and what you have to do. And so in doing that, when I start moving, hey, oh, how you doing, Dallas? Yeah, the light was in my eyes, I couldn't see you. Yeah. So as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, what's going to be major right now is bringing about what are the steps you need to take? What is it that you need to do to bring about building a new life? I thought about building a new life for myself when I was fired from radio, because that's what I knew. I mastered that when I did it. I'm not saying it because I'm being braggadocious, but people who heard me in Columbus, Ohio, during the time that I was on the air, they'll tell you, Mamie Brown's baby boy, he's a bad brother up in there. Nobody did it like I did it before me or since me. Nobody, period. All right. It's not true because I said it, but I said it because it's true. And so what we have to begin to embrace and to know is something that Socrates said. He said, the secret to change is to focus all your energy, all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but building the new you. But all your energy, not fighting the old, but building the new you. So let's look at building the new you look like. What is it that you have to do in order to do that? Number one, self-awareness. Taking time to rethink your life. I've been up since around 3:30 this morning, just thinking about my life and my relationship with myself and the choices that I want and the things that I had envisioned that I would have accomplished in 2020, and I did not do that. And it was because of me. See, at the end of the day, all of us are the same. The only thing that separates us are the choices we make, the habits that we embrace. And I realized, and I want you to write this down, sacrifice. You've got to sacrifice who you've been in 2020. You got to sacrifice whoever that person was. You got to let it go. You got to sacrifice that and put all of your time and energy on building the new you. And building the new you, in my particular case, is more discipline. In my particular case, in monitoring myself and my progress, staying on top of it, watching, am I doing well? Am I moving and in the direction where I want to move? Because if I do that, cancer would be history in my life. History. I'm not comfortable with having cancer on the ropes for 29 years, 4th stage cancer. No. My goal is to knock it out. And that's on me. Cancer's not playing, I'm not playing. And so to focus my mind on that, to give up the things that will distract me from doing that, to make the sacrifice of some things that I enjoy doing, but I can't afford to do it because it's soaking up time, and time is life. Time is life. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And you have the ability to create and design the kind of life that you want. And in this place where we are right now, things have changed dramatically. And so you have to make a dramatic change in yourself in order to accomplish the things that you want. What does that look like? What is it you have to do? In my case, mine and my battle has been with cancer, fourth stage. That looks like intensifying my efforts and monitoring everything that I eat. It has to be organic. My state of mind, keeping stress to a minimum. I don't play that. Anything that's unhealthy, anybody that's unhealthy for me, I cut off the relationship. I don't ask them, why did you do that? I cut it off. Why? It's my life. See, we got enough to deal with. When you got the coronavirus that has now mutated into another lethal form and easier to spread, that kind of tension and stress by itself is enough. So you're not given the luxury of accommodating toxic, negative people in your life if you want to live. I want to live. I remember years ago, I read this book called Who's the Matter with Me? You've had people say, you make me sick. That's real. There are people who can do that to you if you allow them to do that. And you have to put your foot down and say, I don't do drama. Don't come up here with that. I don't do drama. And you don't have to defend that. See, there is no duplicate for life. You only get one. And so you want to live it to the fullest. You want to have special moments. You want to have peace of mind. 47% of Americans can't get a good night's sleep. And I've been one of them. Bobby, you have to work at it. Here's something else. Make a conscious effort to look at and recruit people in your life that you know that have been good to you, that you need to deepen that relationship, that they bring out the best in you, they inspire you, they make you feel good about yourself, y'all have fun together. You want to reach out to those people and schedule some time to see each other virtually each week, where you have individual and collective goals that you're working on. I'm doing that with my family and with my clients. I'm working with them. And that's why I would like to say to those of you that would like for me to coach you and like to be in a community of greatness, I want you to put hungry in the comments section. If you like to work with me, if you like for me to be your coach and this first 90 days, teach you some of the things I've learned. I'm 75, and so I've learned some things. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Let me share something with you. When you upgrade your relationships, when you make it a point to consciously get toxic, negative, energy-draining people who have a propensity for creating drama out of your life. Sometimes you don't even realize how toxic some relationships are until you get out from under them. And I'm sure you've had the experience when somebody who created a whole lot of problems for you and something happened, and when it ended, you say, whoa, I had no idea. friend of mine, her husband died. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. She said, oh, no, don't be. I said, what? No, I'm glad he go, honey. I'm glad he go. No. Don't be sad for me. Don't be sad for my loss. Oh, that was real good. God, well, look at God. He answered prayers. I was shocked. And another friend, I saw the plane, and she had gone through a divorce. I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She said, don't be. No. I have peace of mind, honey. It's better to be alone than to wish you were. I've heard you say that. And that's real. That relationship was turning my hair gray. I gained an extra 65 pounds. No. I'm good. I'm fine. All by myself. I mean, this thing called life, Corona, she has everybody rethinking stuff up in here. Rethinking. People looking at each other saying, I don't know if I want to do this for another 20 years. You looking too healthy. Yeah. I thought I could hang in there, but no. He taking too many vitamins and things. Look like he want to live. No. Here's the other thing. Do something that's you. When I look at my life, and I really want you to look at this and think about this when I'm through. Do something that the future you will say, thank you for making that decision. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for taking your life in a new direction. That's what you want your future self to say. Because in my case, I decided I was going to do something I love. My calling is to speak. My calling is to train speakers. My calling is to change lives. I decided consciously I was going to find a way to do it. One, I invested in myself. This will not be a new year unless you learn something this year that will have a dramatic impact on your life that you did not know last year, that will allow you to take care of yourself, that allow you to control your own personal economy, that allow you to call your own shots, that allow you to have peace of mind. Most people, they're through with the celebration. They forgot what their New Year's resolutions were. No. You listen to me for 90 days, mental resolve is major now. People having meltdowns, snapping, blinking out. Mental resolve is major now. It's a series that I've done on how you can choose the future that you want rather than the future that's already set in place and that's delivered to you and you just step into. You don't want to do that. No, you're only given one life. You want to create. We're created by the Creator to create. And sometimes we just go to sleep at the wheel of life. You don't want to do that. You want to wake up. And every move you make, you want to make it meaningful. Every move you make, you want to mean something. Everything you do, you want some payoff out of it. You went through too much in 2020 not to make 2021 the best year on the planet. You went through too much to get here. Let me tell you. I mean, that Corona, she ain't playing, but we're not playing either. In order to create the life you want, it requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires expanding the time that you spend with yourself, looking at yourself and asking yourself the question, is this the life that I want to live? Is this me? Is this relationship me? Where I'm living, is this environment me? The job that I'm doing to provide for myself or my family, is that me? Do I have some other options? Absolutely. Then do that which is you. Don't be a member of the woulda, shoulda, coulda club. No, I would if, I should if. Come on, no, that doesn't work. No, only put off for tomorrow the things that you're okay with dying in you today. You have something special, and you are here. We are here because of God's grace and mercy. We are here to do the greater work. And feel good about that. Feel good if you're still reeling from 2020. I know I'm still reeling from it. I'm saying, whew, it couldn't end fast enough for me. I'm telling you. And so this time, as you look behind and thank God that you made it, look around and praise God. See the new opportunities, doors open that you did not see. And look within. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Go within and seek God and look ahead and follow God. Let him order your steps, because this is your time. You've gone through too much hell for 2021 not to be your time. Get it done in 21. You got to come at it with a vengeance. Take no prisoners and eat the wounded. Get it done in 21. Oh no, Corona, don't try and come up here. I don't care how many cousins you got and how many mutations you got up in here, up in here. I'm not no fool. I'm gonna keep social distancing. I'm gonna do the things that I need to do to live, to be here and stay away from those crazies, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna do some things that I dreamed about and things I've been putting off and make it happen. Find a way. People are being creative now, unlike anything we've seen before. Because when you are locked down, you can't move around, you come up with all kinds of stuff. I'm just reading where a guy was he was in confinement, in prison, in solitary confinement. And he used that time productively to study math and came up with some masterful mathematical equations, solving problems that people who were not in prison, in solitary confinement, haven't done. The genius, he took that time to think rather than be in despair. He took that time to be productive rather than just sit in solitary confinement and beat his head up against the wall. Yeah, they imprisoned him, but they didn't imprison his mind. You got a mind. Be ye not conformed to this world. Oh yes, don't allow your mind to be the victim of weapons of mass distractions. You got work to do. You're on a mission possible. This is your time. Get excited about it. Sit down. You know what I do in the morning? I said, all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. Next thing I say, Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. Next thing I do, I review the 7 things that I want to get out of the day. 7 things that I want to get out of the day. Most people just want to get through the day. See, if you don't have an agenda for your life, you're going to be a part of somebody else's agenda. Okay? And the next thing that's very, very important, make a commitment to learn something today that you didn't know yesterday. Make a commitment before you go to bed tonight that there's something new that you have learned. If you develop those habits, let me share something with you. The opportunities of creating joy, love, happiness, and excitement are unlimited. What are you hungry for? I wanted to be my own boss everywhere I worked because of the politics. I got fired. Some things happen to you, some things happen for you. Had I not been fired from WVKO radio station, had I not been fired, I would have never became a state legislator. Had I not been fired, I'd never produced specials for public television. Had I not been fired, I'd have never been paid $5 million to do a talk show by King World. Had I not been fired, I would have never been able to resign from the Ohio legislature and go back to Mamie to take care of my mother. I promised her that she would not end up in a nursing home. She used to work in a nursing home and never wanted to go. I remember my sister calling me, "Leslie, are you sitting down? What's wrong with Mama?" "Mama has breast cancer. It's terminal." I said, "I'll be right there. You don't have to come. You got nice nursing homes in here in Dade County." "Listen to me. No, I'm coming." I left immediately, my political ambitions, everything, and I rung the doorbell. A friend of hers named Mildred was there. She came to the door. "Whoa, Mildred said, "Mamie, Leslie's here. Leslie's here." And I heard my mother say, "I knew he would come. I knew my boy would come." Is there somebody that you love? Somebody that is so important to you that if something happened to them, they can count on your being there, of your showing up? What do you think about that? I want you to put voice in the comments section, because it allows you to control your own personal economy. It allows you to create your own job. See, a job is what you get paid for. Your calling is what you are made for. 86% of Americans go to jobs that they hate. And at the same time, they don't want to get fired. That's what you call mixed emotions. Seeing somebody you hate drive off a cliff in your car. You sad that they're gone, but not, you're glad that they're gone, but not in your car. Couldn't they do something else? Use a bicycle or something? To drive off a cliff, not in your car. You glad they're gone, though. Let me tell you something. This thing called life. Helen Keller had a point. Life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. Bet on you. Tomorrow's not promised. If we don't know anything else, we know that the coronavirus has taught us how fragile life is. Don't leave here doing something that's not you. Take a chance on you. Give yourself a chance. I wrote the quote, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." My brothers and sisters, they thought I was crazy. And I am. Sometimes you gotta be out of your mind. Let that mind be in you. See, if there's gotta be another mind in you, then you got to be out of your mind, because that mind is not serving you. I want you, if you'd like to work with me, if you've heard my voice since you were a kid, and it touched you, it touched your heart, it expanded your vision of what was possible. If you were in a dark place and you just didn't think you could make it. William Hollis said to me, he's got a motivational message he put together, and I encourage you to get it. It's called, "I didn't come this far to come this far." He called me Pops. And let me share something with you. He's a bad boy up in here. And he said he was homeless and he heard my voice. I became his spiritual father. He heard my voice. And it brought him through a very difficult time. Jose Flores. Jose, he said, don't let your limitations become your standard. And Jose, who is bound in a wheelchair, but buddy, he's now motivating and speaking to corporations and individuals and inspiring them, even though he's confined to a wheelchair, quadriplegic. His beautiful wife, Adrian. You're still here. There's so much more in you. Simba, you are more than that which you have become. This is not for everybody, though. At this stage of my life, at 75, I'm looking for people that are hungry. I'm looking for people who say, Les Brown, I'm the one. That's what I told Mr. Washington. You go and you look at Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. You go all the way to the end. I followed him and told him when he got through speaking to some seniors in the auditorium at Booker T. Washington High School. I was a junior. I followed him down the steps. My mother was working in the cafeteria at this time. I said, "Sir, do you remember me?" "No." I said, "My name is Leslie Brown. My mother, Miss Mamie Brown, she works in the cafeteria. I'm a twin. I was in your class looking for MacArthur Stevens, and they called me DT, and I agreed with them, the dumb twin. And you came and looked at me and said, 'Don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality.'" And I was startled. I said, "Do you remember me now?" He said, "Yes." And I said, you said to them that they can make the school proud. They can make their families proud if they realize that they have greatness in them. I said, "I was there, but you're not a senior, you're a junior." I said, "I know, but I heard your voice, and I felt like you were talking to me." I said, can I make my mother proud?" He said, "Yes." I said, "But what about the fact that I failed math and English and history and going to summer school for the 5th straight year?" He said, "Your grades don't determine who you are. Yes, I have to work harder." And he turned to walk away. I said, "Mr. Washington?" He said, "What is it now? You said if just one person heard your voice, that your being brought here from Stuart, Florida would not have been in vain." He said, "Yes." I said, "I'm the one, sir. I am the one." He said, "It's possible, Mr. Brown." He turned and walked away. I said, "Remember my name. I'm the one, sir. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, and one day you're going to hear my name again. I'm the one." And I'm sure he just dismissed it. You see the video, Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. I'm not going to end it for you, but it tells the full story. Here's what I'm saying. Some things happen to you. Some things happen for you. Keep the faith, baby. As Adam Clayton Powell, great congressman out of New York, once said. Keep the faith. Faith that has never been tested can't be trusted. Keep the faith, baby. Judge not according to appearances. Keep the faith, baby. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Keep the faith, baby. He said, "I'll give you whatever you desire." Keep the faith, baby. I'll give you all that your eyes can see. Hold the vision of what you want to create. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Keep the faith, baby. Use your superpower, your power voice. A lot of people caught up in the drama, the politics, and all the stuff that's going on. Don't worry about what's going on in the White House. Worry about what's going on in your house. Because at the end of the day, you're only 6 inches from success. That's the distance from this ear to this ear. Develop your mind. Be ye not conformed to this world. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Most people are witnesses. They're watching television. They're fans. You want to be a player? Kid and play. I'm kid. You want to be a player? You want to be the person who stands for something, who will live a life that will outlive them? Let me work with you to develop your power voice. Let me shorten your learning curve. Let me share with you how I came from nothing to get here. You're watching me because you know in your heart of hearts what I've done. You can do plus more. Put voice in the comment section. There's somebody that you know that needs to hear this message. I want you to like this page and share it. Like it and share it. But I'm not just looking for anybody. I'm ready to close this thing out. I'm just looking for people that are hungry, that are serious, that are coachable. Because most people aren't. Most people don't know that they don't know, and they think they know. One of the worst things in the world to deal with: arrogance and ignorance. People who don't know and they think they know. Oh, behave, whatever. You have so much more to express. You're still here. Every day is a great day, as Orrin Hudson would say. If you don't believe it, try missing one. If you're ready to make more money, if you're ready to be your own boss, if you're ready to generate and control your own personal economy, if you're ready to advance your career, if you're ready to run for office and make a greater impact and deliver a life that will outlive you, be a policy maker, put voice in the comment section. If you have some skills, some knowledge, you're a speaker, trainer, coach, and you want to make yourself stand out. Name of the game today is attention. How to get attention, how to create an experience to hold the attention, and how to direct the attention. That's the name of the game. Put voice in the comment section. People are rushing to become a part of our training program, the leading program on the planet. I do it. I control it. I direct it. And if you can find somebody who's come from where I've come from and done what I've done and overcame what I overcame, I encourage you. Do it with them. Got somebody who can do it and accomplish what I have accomplished, becoming a dominant force in this industry? My hat goes out to you. This is not for everybody that I do. The Power Voice System. He who has ear, let him hear. If you can hear me in your heart, this is your time. You watch me up to this point, you know in your heart of hearts, these things ye shall do, and greater things shall ye do. You're ready for the greater work. Put voice in the comment section. Do it now. Don't put it off. Oh, I can't afford to do it. You can't afford not to do it. You know, people are talking about, how much does it cost? Don't worry about how much does it cost. Ask yourself the question. As a guy asked me, how much will it cost you if you don't do it? Had I not bet on me, had I not put my money where my mouth is, whew, oh my God, it cost me millions of dollars, literally. The clients I've had, AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, IBM, it had cost me millions of dollars, and the lives that I could have transformed had I not bet on me. Everybody being practical and logical and reasonable say, You're wasting your time. There are over 3,000 members of the National Speakers Association. Sometimes in life, you've got to be unreasonable. That's why we're taught to walk by faith and not by sight. That's why we're taught to call forth those things that be not as though they were. Judge not according to appearances, but right judgment, right thoughts, right feelings, right emotions, right relationships, and right vision. Yeah, let everybody else follow all the drama that's going on. He said, I'll keep thee in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, not on thee in the drama. Drama will always be here. Always. Three kinds of people that will come out of this period where we are. There's a reckoning going on. There's a reckoning going on. Benjamin Franklin said, nothing will change until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected. There's some good-hearted people who now see, whoa, these people weren't making this up. Wow. Oh my God. Who would have thought? These people have been getting away with murder, judge, jury, and executioner. That's not American. But you know what I found? Hate is more important and more powerful than many people's religious values, the sense of morality. Hate is more important. Isn't that interesting? How they hold the Bible. They don't read, as a man thinketh, so is he. As he continues to think, so he remain. The least that you do unto these, my brethren, you do it also unto me. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. Stand up for something. I had a saying when I was on WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. Stand up for what you believe in, because you can fall for anything. And there are people right now. Just look around. Just look around. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. Don't try and figure it out. You can't figure out crazy. You can't do that. No. Leave it alone. Keep thine eyes single. Live your life to the fullest. Live a life that will outlive you, because you can. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm. You're a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. I'm looking for a few hungry people. We will vet you. And I'm 75, so I don't have patience for foolishness. I'm looking for people that are positive, that are passionate, that are coachable, that will listen, that's ready to be introduced to a part of themselves that they don't know. See, you can't read the label when you're locked in the box. Sometimes you need somebody to facilitate that process. You can't get there by yourself. All of us at different points in our lives, like what former heavyweight champion Joe Frazier said, like a blind man standing on a corner waiting for someone to lead him across the street. All of us have had our moments in the Garden of Gethsemane. Millions of people right now going through a tough time, nervous, can't sleep at night, fearful of being evicted or foreclosed on, or losing their jobs, can't get a good night's sleep. And your voice, a voice of hope, your voice, your story, the things that you've overcome and the things that you've gone through can become their guide, their survival guide to navigate these times where we are. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. He said he'll never leave us nor forsake us. Keep in mind, God's still in control.
To me, one of the most important things and the first step in changing lives is to have a program for yourself. When I started on this path, that was what my goal was to change me, given my circumstances. I think that, psychologists say that we create a mental blueprint between the ages of 1 and 5, that between that time, we determine what's available for us and what's not available for us. And so, given my circumstances, being born in an abandoned building on a floor in a poor section of Miami, Florida, I became interested in a path of developing myself. I remember shining the shoes of Mr. Sidursky, this man that my mother worked for, very wealthy on Miami Beach. She cleaned his home and she cooked for the family and kept the children. And he listened to motivational messages unbeknownst to me. That was programming my mind, and it created a thirst within me to get on this path. I remember listening to Earl Nightingale, who said, "You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are." And so to me, reading became an out. It became a tool that I used to develop myself, and not just reading for enjoyment, but reading for personal growth, reading to look at those things that I read and to apply them in my lives. And I would read sometimes at night from 60, 100 pages a night, sometimes a whole book. And then I would underline the book and I would think about them, I would memorize them, and then I would apply them. I would try them out. Because one of the things he said, they did a study of some top achievers and leaders around the world, over 3,000, to find out what was the common denominator among them that enabled them to reach their goals. And here's what they did, that 85% of them reached their goals because of their attitude, 15% because of their aptitude. Now, to me, that was big, because I was in special education. I was labeled educable mentally retarded. So I said, whoa, that means I don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. That if I have a winner's attitude, that I've got a shot, that I could make it, that I don't have to live a life of being average. I wanted to live a life of meaning, of purpose. Being adopted, I wanted to do something for my mother. And so by listening to motivational messages and reading on a regular basis, it really taught me the value of using your time to work on yourself, to develop yourself, to really restructure your belief system for what was possible for you. It really expanded my vision of myself. And so to me, that's what it means about mass appeal, because I was working on myself. Then I started sharing it with others, and I noticed a difference in them. And I shared with them the things that I was doing because they saw the difference in me. And it's been said that a career is something you love so much you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people pay you to do it. So as I talked with and shared with my friends what I was doing and what was possible for them, I eventually evolved into this life of where I am. And as a result, I carved out a market for myself. And because this is my passion, this is what I've spent the majority of my life doing, I've developed a level of expertise, a level of strength and power and reputation in this area that created a demand for myself.
How do you maintain focus in a world that clamors every single day for your attention? How do you remain focused on doing what your passion and what you feel is your purpose?
I'm glad you asked that question, because in life, what we're doing right now, it is, to me, an experiment with life. There's so much noise in this world, and most people never achieve their goals because of the noise, because it is so distracting. One of my students, her name is Stacy N.C. Grant, and she wrote a book called Action, Action, Despite the Distractions. And so what most people do, they stop and they look around. The reason that Lot was saying, don't look back, is because you become paralyzed when you allow yourself to be distracted and seduced by the noise of life, that you have to discipline yourself. The road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it, because few there be that are willing to focus their minds. Where focus goes,
energy flows. Few there be that are willing to discipline themselves. And as a result, most people allow their dreams, their potential, their goals to be derailed because they take their eyes off of what it is that they're after.
That's really, really powerful.
Now here's one second to the last thing. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Hold it. Mr. Washington, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do? Well, sir, I'd like to be a disc jockey. Mr. Brown, if you want to be a disc jockey, you got to be hungry. What do you mean by that, sir? You've got to be willing to do the things that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. He said you got to work on yourself, develop your mind. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You got to be hungry. I said, yes, sir, I'm hungry. I want to be a disc jockey, sir. He said, is that right? I said, yes, sir. He said, start listening to Paul Harvey. Start listening to people who are effective communicators. Be conscious of what you're saying and how you're saying it. Because how you express yourself, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. See yourself as a radio disc jockey. Start working to get sponsorship. Start creating the radio format that you want. Start developing your personality. I said, wait a minute, sir. I said, I want to be a disc jockey. I don't have a job yet. And then he quoted Whitney Young. He said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. You got to be hungry. So I started working to develop myself and developing my communication skills. I expected to have a radio program, so I created my formats. I started learning how to write commercials and do jingles. And then I came to him one day. I said, okay, Mr. Washington. He said, okay, Mr. Brown, remember, you've got to be hungry. You don't have a college degree. You have no journalism. You have no broadcasting. This is a very crowded field. It's very, very competitive, Mr. Brown. You're going to face no and rejection every day. But if you're hungry enough, the world will make a place for you. So I went to apply for a job on Miami Beach to Milton Butterball Smith, the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. You have any journalism in your background? No, sir. You have any kind of broadcasting experience? No, sir, but I've been training myself, sir. Let me audition for you. Let me show you how good I am. He said, I'm sorry, we don't have any job for you. I was discouraged. I went back and I told Mr. Washington. I said, Mr. Washington? They said no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. I said, yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. Weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. No one was laid off. No one was fired. I came back the next day. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 3 days? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 3 days? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. No one got sick. No one died. No one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day talking loud, looking happy, like I was seeing you for the first time. Hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He says, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. Sometimes you have to stoop before you conquer. You got to sacrifice before you reign. So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'll go get their lunch and their dinner, and I'll stand in the control room, and I would not leave until they would ask me to. Then pretty soon, they trusted me to pick up entertainers that came to town. Entertainers like Diana Ross and the Supremes and the Four Tops and Gladys Knight. I used to drive them all over Miami Beach in the disc jockeys' big, long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like I had some. Then one day, I was at the radio station, and a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. He was slurring his words. It was obvious he was so inebriated he couldn't complete his show. And there I was looking at him through the control room window. walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, rock, drink. Drink, rock. I'd have gone to get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager, and I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend Cassandra. Said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn up the radio. I'm about to come on there. I waited for about 20 minutes and I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, do you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records and don't say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get behind that turntable. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P, Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single, love Domingo, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. I was hungry. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, you gotta be hungry. There are people who come to this country who can't speak the language and they hit the ground running because they're hungry. The people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. The people that are hungry are willing to make it okay to fail. They're risk takers. The people that are hungry are willing to reinvent themselves, to develop themselves. They know you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. The people that are hungry have goals and practical steps that they engage in day and day out.